Hi, everybody. We're waiting for our friend Serge Tiagniryadno from Ukraine to come on. He's going to give us an update on the war, and it looks like he's about to come in. All right, go ahead, Mike.
Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another Manapod podcast. Usually, Larry and I try to have a lot of fun with our guest, but today is a very serious podcast because not only of our special guest, which is Serge Tiagniryadno. Tiagniryadno, we got that right, Serge. And Serge is in Kyiv, Ukraine right now. And we just want to show our audience a clip of where we were with you 4 months ago in December. We were at the Belly Up Tavern in Solana Beach. And so let's watch this clip of you interviewing with us and also playing in your band.
So how's the tour been going?
Well, it's ending actually. We have 33rd show today, and we still have 2 ahead. So it was fun. We drove from coast to coast. We visited from north to south, and we saw almost everything in America. And I should say it's amazing.
You guys were awesome, and thank you, by the way, for being generous to talk to us before the show and give us some insight into how the tour was going.
Yes. Well, this is incredible, and we're so sorry that you and the Ukrainian people have to go through what you're going through. I mean, it's saddening to us. We're fans. We're big fans of yours and your band, and we're fans of the Ukrainian people. And for you to go through what you're going through and being within 15 miles from a convoy of Russian tanks, and you're still there. Your family is, I understand, away from you right now, and they're safe. Your 2 kids and your wife and your dog, but you're there. Talk to us. Why are you still there? And what's going on?
Well, what's going on? This 11th day of Russian war against Ukraine. Actually, it's not only Russian war, but by now it's Russian and Belarus war, because they starting their missiles from territory of Belarus. They entering with troops from territory of Belarus. And so far we are lucky because a few days ago, Belarus announced that they are entering with their military forces on the territory of Ukraine. But fortunately, Belarus warriors do not want to do that, and they are not following their orders. And I hope they won't, because everything that they will receive here, they will just die. Like 11,000 of Russian soldiers already died here.
A lot of the videos that we've been seeing from Ukraine are showing some of these captured Russian soldiers who didn't even know that this was supposed to be an attack. They thought they were on routine exercises and were surprised to find out that they were actually attacking Ukraine. And it sounds like in a lot of those interviews, they don't want to be there. They don't want to be fighting the Ukrainian people.
Yes, that's correct. A lot of them saying that, well, we can believe or not, because, they telling the same story and it's suspicious. But the main thing that the army disoriented, they are not professional warriors. They do not know how to fight, and they are shooting at civils building, at schools, at kindergartens, at foster homes. Well, a few days ago they shelled the nuclear power plant, the biggest in Europe power plant, 7 times bigger than Chernobyl that we had in 1986, and nobody understood why they are doing it. If it will blow up, everybody will die all around. So they're doing just terrible things. And the most terrible that they are killing civils, and a lot of children died, unfortunately. Even today we had a lot of sad news about someone died. And they destroying the cities, the ancient cities, like they shooting with missiles on Kyiv, which has more than 1,000-year history. They trying to destroy Chernihiv right now, which is 2 hours from Kyiv. It's also a very rare city, and that was a center, cultural and center of the region that called Rus, and where they took the name of the countries. That's terrible. They almost destroyed Kharkiv. It's also a very big and nice city, was, unfortunately. And their main goal is to capture the Kyiv, but they cannot succeed. And they starting to destroy small cities all over the Kyiv. So from other side of the Dnieper River, from me, on the west, they destroyed small village Borodyanka, completely destroyed. There is no chances that someone will live there. They destroying 3 cities, Hostomel, Bucha, and Irpin. And this most dangerous thing that they are not letting civils to leave the city. They firing to refugees who trying to escape right now.
Are you having to stay inside? Are you able to get out and walk around and go buy food and anything else?
Yes, we have a curfew, so it's like mostly in the dark times till 7 a.m. You cannot leave your house because you will be probably you will be killed, because a lot of saboteurs were in the city and they tried to blow something up. They tried to point some targets for the missiles for targeting. So that was terrible. But we know everything they are planning to do, and our military is doing their job well. And we even fought back few cities that was occupied for 8 years from 2014 on the east. They fought back Horlovka. It's a region that was occupied for 8 years so far. But unfortunately, there's too many people in that army, and they surrounded us. All the country is surrounded by them. Today, even they fired from Transnistria, which is between Ukraine and Moldova. And that territory is also occupied by Russian from 90s. They did the same that they trying to do in Ukraine by that time. So they pointed 8 missiles to Vinnytsia, and only 2 of them succeeded and hit the target at airport, but our air defense system destroyed 6 of them.
So, we're getting a lot of news from a lot of different outlets here, all pretty much telling the same story about, the atrocities and the same thing about this shockingly inexperienced Russian army. But the fact that what they're trying to do is encircle Kyiv and depose Zelensky and put in some sort of puppet government, thinking somehow that that's going to calm everybody down, when in fact it's probably just going to make a stronger insurgency that they're going to have to deal with. But what kind of news is coming into you guys to find out what the West is doing to try and help in terms of weapons delivery? I know some of that stuff should not be publicized too much because we don't want anybody finding out how weapons are getting in and all that. But what's your news source for finding out what's happening with the rest of the world?
Well, we always informed because right from the first hours of invasion, all our main TV channels, they are gathered around in one system, and they broadcasting one air by shifts. So every channel has few hours of broadcasting. They spread it, the studios all over the Ukraine, so they cannot destroy everything. And we broadcasting it all over on the TVs, internet, radios, everywhere. So there's no chances that they will destroy something like they tried to do in Kyiv. They pointed two missiles to TV broadcasting tower, which is situated right on territory of Memorial to Holocaust.
Right.
That was a memorial for Jewish people, and not only Jewish Ukrainians that were killed by Nazis. And that was terrible because, well, first thing, even if they succeeded to destroy the broadcasting tower, that didn't affect anything because no one watches broadcasting TV right now. You can use digital or you can use YouTube or whatever you have. But their goal is to shut down the network and TVs and put some of their information like they're doing in Russia. So they still believe that if they will say something on TV, everybody will believe it. So there is no chances to, well, even if it's impossible, believe me. I live in Kyiv all my life. It's impossible to capture Kyiv for them. They can destroy us with artillery and heavy rockets and probably fighting jets, but there's no way they can enter with their troops or with their tanks in Kyiv. It's completely a fortress right now. So their plan not going to work in any circumstances, except they can just destroy everything with the crazy amount of weapon they have.
So the other thing is, we heard a report yesterday also of this girl who had called her parents in Russia and told them what was happening, how, they were killing civilians and bombing hospitals and all that sort of thing. And her parents basically called her a liar and said, no, that's not happening. It's Ukrainians who are doing that. Have you had the opportunity to talk to any of your friends in Russia to either enlighten them or to find out what kind of information they're getting?
Well, I'm speaking with some Russian friends, sometimes all over the world. Most of them who live outside the country, they understand what's going on.
Right.
Few of them understand what's going on inside the country. But crazy amount of people do not understand. And they believe in their medias, unfortunately. So they probably right now, when the sanctions are starting to work and affect their normal life, they're starting to understand something. We even joke sometimes that we are calling our friends to Russia and they're saying, well, we have big lines to the ATMs. We cannot take cash. And we're saying, well, that you lying, that isn't true. Our television says you are okay. So, but, the effect of all these restrictions and sanctions will be visible for them in a few more weeks. And unfortunately, we don't have these weeks because every day they destroying a lot of crazy amount of people and crazy amount of cultural objects. So we need to do something else.
What happens next? I mean, when this is over, and we're praying that it ends pretty soon. How do you guys go about rebuilding? I mean, it could take 10, 20 years to rebuild. What do you do?
I don't even imagine. Well, for now, for us, the main goal is to either stop the war right now and negotiate and find some way to. I don't even know what will be the way, because they did such crazy amount of war criminal. So, well, we cannot just stop and say, okay, we leave,
right,
like we did before. And the other thing that you cannot just stop the war. And when you failed, you cannot just say, okay, I failed, I go home, live your life. That doesn't work like that. So
there have to be consequences.
People of Russia will pay for that. Yes, unfortunately, that will be not their leader, not the oligarchs who supporting him, but that will be civils who are, I don't take away the responsibility of them, because they can see what's going on. Yes, they shut it, the Facebook and Twitter for Russian people, but that's in a modern world. It's easy to install some VPN and see what's going on. You're not isolated completely, so they just don't want to see that. And they believe in propaganda, unfortunately, that been brainwashed them for 22 years by this government.
But
so
your
unfortunately,
your young friends, the people that you hang out with who are Russian, from Russia, that live in Russia, they understand what's going on. I mean, they're modern, they're westernized, so to speak. They get it. Are they spreading the word as they should?
Well, if you mean our bandmates, so probably I cannot talk for them. You should ask them personally. But for other people that I know from Russia, some of them trying to do something.
Well, there have been news reports showing significant protests in Russia with people. I mean, even old. There was this one lady that survived, I think, the siege of Stalingrad, that was out protesting, and she got arrested. She's like 4,000 years old, and she got arrested, and thrown in jail. And now they've imposed like 15-year minimum sentences for anybody who is protesting, calling them terrorists and all that. And yet there's still some people out there doing that, but not enough, obviously.
Yeah, unfortunately not enough. And you can understand them. They are scared of government, are scared of police. They are scared of 15 years of jail if they are protesting against the government. But, when you know what's going on here, it's not comparable when children are dying and 15 years of jail. That's not comparable. Right. So of course, we still believe that people of Russia will stand against the criminal government and will do something. That probably will be the most peaceful and fastest solution for that problem.
To the problem. You posted this morning on Facebook, you can help Ukraine with some donation sites, like for the National Bank of Ukraine and things. CNN just came out with, and we'll post some of this as well, with about 30 organizations that people can give to. What would you ask people like us? Because like I said, if we get this on the news, people want to know, I can't come and fight. I can't do that. But what's the best thing I can do as an American to help?
Whatever you can. So you can donate something. You can send something for humanitarian organizations. You can ask your representatives to do something and to act more faster, for example. But everyone in Ukraine and outside is trying to do whatever they can. Not everybody can handle a firearm and do this job very good. So we're making news, we're making videos, we're making food, we're driving some medicines, whatever we can. So, well, everything that, in your opinion, can help to make the end of the war closer to us, you should do it because that NATO is saying that they are not intervening in this conflict because they're afraid of that World War III will begin by that. Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you that it's already started. You just do not realize it yet, unfortunately, but that's already started.
Are you surprised how all the country, not all, but most of the countries around the world are rallying for Ukraine? Are you surprised by that?
Well, yes and no. Well, what I should say is we're very thankful for all the world, for all the people we get in messages from the countryside didn't even knew they exist. So thank you so much for support. It helps because all these prayers and words of encouragement, probably they helping our army to stand against such big amount of technique and soldiers. Well, that's pretty helping.
Right. This will be very helpful for the Ukrainian people for political asylum to be able to go into many countries. They will welcome you with open arms, which is highly unusual in a war situation. But in this case, because the world is rallying around you, you'll have plenty of different countries to go to should you need to. At least to set up make your family safe and set up another life while Ukraine rebuilds. So should be a blessing there. And we're open.
Yeah, thank you. Well, yes. As for me and as for the most Ukrainians, we are not planning to go anywhere. We are ready to defend our country, and after it will end, we will be rebuilding everything, and that's the first thing to do after that.
And when will you find it necessary, because you have a family, if the inevitable thing is where Kyiv is under siege, they may not take it, but they are going to put it under siege. When is it that you're going to either make a decision to head west and stand your ground there in Lviv or something like that, or stand up and fight as well?
Well, we will stand until we will win. So there is no chances they will capture.
So you're staying in Kyiv?
Yes.
Regardless. Well,
I live here all my life. This is my homeland. I cannot leave it.
Is it true? I mean, do you have friends that are out fighting now? Personal friends?
Of course, yeah.
Wow.
Yes. I have a lot of musicians. They are joined militaries who could, and a lot of just defending in some small districts. And if you want to enter some of the military forces, you have to stand in the line right now. You cannot just go and take the
That's good.
Are you using your music right now to keep you calm and focused in and keep your spirits up? Because I understand you've just written a song. Is that true?
Well, till yesterday, I couldn't even think about it. There was so much to do, but from yesterday, we started to produce something with my friends. They started to write music, write songs, and I spent last night by producing one of them, and we will publish it probably today or tomorrow.
Beautiful.
And well, it helps. It helps because after 10 days of madness, you need to just forget about it for a few hours, and it really helps.
Well, your Facebook posts are making a big difference as well. Not only, people who follow you on a regular basis, but the amount of people sharing what you're posting. And, Kim and Drazi started, We Stand with Serge in Ukraine, and that's already blowing up. And so, I would say, you're doing a wonderful job of keeping everybody up to date and knowing what the truth is going on there in Ukraine. And we really appreciate you doing that and keeping us all informed.
Yeah. And thank you so much for helping me to do that, because, it's very important for people to know the truth, and outside Ukraine, and for the Western world and for the Russian world as well, because the more people will understand what's going on in reality, the more people will protest and want us accept what's going on in their government.
Yeah, and at manopause.com, we don't do politics, but this isn't politics. This is hatred and aggression, and it doesn't matter what your political beliefs are. We all kind of stand united against this kind of behavior. And so we're going to be pinning this video along with other ones to our site so that, our followers can see it and share it as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
Well, Serge, hopefully we'll see you again in person soon and in a better time and happier time. And in the meantime, if you need anything, obviously let us know, and we'll be following you and the groups on Facebook. So thanks for taking some time with us today to tell us what's going on there.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. We stand by you guys, and anything you need from us, please do not hesitate to ask. We're here for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your.
All right, Serge. Stay safe.
Yes, stay safe.
You too, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.